Hey, 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 hey! Welcome to the moment. You are here for it's the second official moment. It's interesting. I've started documenting my moments by creating the show, the moment. Now, each moment kind of has a number. I don't want to start putting episodes on them because the moments, as I said the last time, are going to be kind of sometimes they'll be planned, the X night at this time, and sometimes they'll just be random moments, depending on what's happening. So, welcome to the moment. I am Michael Zinn. I am here to share a moment with you. I have intentionally created this moment. And in this particular moment, I'm bringing on a good friend of mine. His name is Bryan Lahr. He is a mystic, a shaman, an artist, a visionary artist, and has created a deck of tarot cards that I just received. And he asked me to open. He wanted to see me open them when I got them. So I said, "Hey, why don't we do a show? Why don't we do the moment?" And he said, "Sure." So welcome everybody, Bryan Lahr. What's up, dude?
Hey, I'm so excited, dude. It's like I've been like a kid at Christmas waiting for
Oh
you
my
to get
God!
them.
Yes, I actually ordered these around Christmas time, so I'm super excited that they're finally here. Uh, and I haven't even touched the box, as you can see. It's still sealed.
Professionally wrapped by
I'm
me.
super excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. Welcome, Janice. Janice is here. Janice is my
Hi,
girlfriend.
Janice.
So I haven't introduced you yet, Bryan, but Janice, this Bryan, Janice. Some people are asking what is the YouTube link. Now, I do have a YouTube channel set up, but I didn't realize you have to, before you go live, you have to activate it, and it takes 24 hours. So I officially activated it, and from tomorrow on, I'll be able to do YouTube as well as the Facebook page. So that would be another place people can see it. I may also stream it to Twitch. There's so many platforms now. What's up, Steve Sage? Steve Sage is out there watching. Nice to see Steve. Janice says hello.
Hey, Janice.
And yeah, this is just going to grow. I'm learning more and more about the different distribution points where you can put these things, and man, I'm freaking loving the conversations, and the more people that see them, the more ripples that we make, right, Bryan?
Absolutely. You put it
Cool. So
out, it comes back.
yeah, absolutely, that's what I see. And what I love about this show, the moment, is that I created this, and it's almost like I've created my happy place that whenever I feel like it, I can go to this broadcast. I can say, "Hey, you want to come on and have a conversation with me and find somebody interesting?" I'm
Well, you
so
know what
blessed.
would be really cool too, Michael, is like the happy moments are awesome. I mean, those are always great to spread.
Mhm.
But, the hard moments that you share and share with people, how you get through those could be really cool too.
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, that's part of people's stories. Sometimes I'm gonna have Bowen on this show too. So you saw Bowen.
Yeah, that
Uh,
guy's work's great.
and he's this brilliant visionary artist, and his story is comes from tragedy, and it's unfortunate, but a lot of times trauma and that kind of thing is what brings you to that next level, living
That's
outside your comfort zone. So this is almost like the moment was almost outside of my comfort zone to just have a show where I could just go on and do it, and I was like, wait a second, that's not really so here we are,
there you
uh
go.
and there's Randy Frieder, my buddy Randy. What's happening, Randy? Good to see you out there. Uh, Thank you for supporting the moment. Thank you for being in the moment with us. But let's get to it, man. Let's open this
Let's
freaking
do it
thing.
up. Let's
I've
do
been
it
waiting
up.
all
Let's
day.
do it up.
I was like, should I
Yay.
open it? What should I do? And
I
so
was so bummed on Thursday when they hadn't gotten there yet.
I
I was like,
know that
come
would have been
on,
great.
man.
So Bryan was on the show, uh, the live stream with us, and Jesse had also ordered a couple of decks. So Bryan, while I'm opening this, Bryan is I've been bragging that he's a mystic and a shaman, but he truly is. He spent many years learning and doing many different things. Bryan, why don't you tell us? Just give us a taste of what it is to be a mystic, what it means.
Oh wow. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it really wasn't something I like picked to do. It sort of picked me, and I've just been really obsessively curious about it my whole life. So I got into divination systems really early.
And give let us know what is a divination system, just for people who don't know.
Divination system is anything like tarot cards, anything that you could use to uh, predict things. People have used the tarot cards as predictions, although I
Mhm,
use it more as a weather forecast and a flow of energy than here's
mhm,
an outcome.
mhm,
But it's
mhm.
anything that people have runes, the I
Mhm.
Ching, any of those things, or would be considered a divination system.
I got
Eh,
you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
so go ahead.
the,
Yeah, you say you got into divination systems.
well, I
Well,
wound,
I
I
wanted to
wound
open this as you're talking. So
I wound up getting into a lot of different magical disciplines. I got into some African work and with Ifa and some Arabic magic systems, a lot of Western magic stuff, Kabbalistic systems, a lot of the Golden
I'm
Dawn.
getting
Oh
there.
boy, they survived.
I'm
Excellent.
getting there. Oh wow, look at this. This is I'm so freaking excited.
Oh boy, that's the angel deck. It's a
Oh,
tarot
I'm trying to
deck.
show it without a reflection. There we go.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
So this is the angel deck. There's two different decks in the set here, a tarot deck and an angel deck. And then let's take.
One of the rare occurrences where anything I've produced over the whole of my life came out better than I hoped it would.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
amazing. So also no trying to get no
The
reflection there.
10 years
There
ago
we
that
go.
that deck was created. It's had
Yeah,
quite a life in those 10 years too, I have to say. I've met the
so
most
beautiful.
amazing people. It's like it hasn't really been in US games or any nationally distributed kind of scenario, but it's found its way to people that really have found it
Yeah,
beneficial and
you were
useful.
telling us that. Yeah, that it, like people from around the world email you and tell you
Yeah.
what they found in your cards. And really, I'm opening this up. I'm going to share these cards. It's the most unique approach I have seen to tarot. And I mean, there's a lot of great art out there. Art. I love. That's a whole other conversation. What's going on with art and creativity in general? What's going on is amazing. But these are the most unique. This is the most unique approach I've seen.
Well,
Uh,
when I
Tarot.
first made it, there was a site called Eclectic Tarot, which is still around, but the publisher and the person that started that isn't there anymore. But when that first came out, it was kind of like the place to go to look for tarot decks, and there were hundreds and thousands of decks on there, and
Mhm.
that was one of the places I did the research to try to do something really different. So
Mhm.
after I finished it, I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh, we'd love to run this. This is the most unique thing I've ever seen.
Oh
I've never
wow.
seen another deck like that." And
Mhm.
man, that just like made my heart
That's
absolutely
phenomenal. I
soar.
have
Yeah,
a question from Steve. He says, "Does Brian know Sasha Graham Sasha?"
I do not
I
know.
don't know who that is. Brian does not know who that is, Steve. She's big on the tarot scene. Uh, Steve says. I'm not familiar with that person, but
Would you say that name again, Sasha? What?
it's Sasha Graham Sasha.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, write it down. So this is beautifully gold foiled. There's like, it looks like, as you were saying, it almost looks like a brick of gold from the side, um, and of course, beautiful. Now this artwork on the front, is this one of your pieces as well?
It
Uh,
is one of my pieces, and that's really kind of like that's where the whole magic of it starts because I designed that to be a meditative ride down into
mhm,
a trance state to start reading.
mhm,
So
mhm.
if you start in the outer band of the color and just slowly sink down very slowly through each band of color until you get to the center, it puts you in a pretty good place right away. and that's the back of the
Amazing.
cards too, without the
Right, right.
logo.
Such a that's why I didn't know if it was something like a different kind of piece of artwork or so Steve says Sasha Graham. It was a typo, so it's just Sasha Graham.
Okay.
That's who it is.
Thank you, Steve. I'll look into that
And we
right
have
away.
Lorena saying, "Is this live now?" It is live now, Lorena. So if you want to interact with Bryan, he's here. You can ask him a
Yes,
question, and
please.
you can interact, and we can talk about how beautiful these cards are. I'm freaking so excited, Bryan. My girlfriend Janice is also super excited to get her hands on these, and she's more of a reader than I am. But wow, look at these things! They're gold on the side. Oh my God, Bryan, these are beautiful. So you were also saying, and I could really appreciate the depth of this as an artist, that when you send something like this out to be produced, the result that you get back isn't always as
Well,
lovely as you expect.
if you're in that, I've spent a really large part of my life in advertising and design and shooting commercials.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so great to see
Look
my
at the
children in your hands.
Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. I feel it. I feel the energy. This is amazing. I'm so happy. Look
I
at this.
charged them up really good for you.
These are great.
And they'll hold the charge really well because they have that nice gold and the silver on the edges. The
Right.
Fool, yes, the beginning
So,
of the
so
journey.
explain to people who are here in the moment with us uh, what they're looking at exactly, as far as your artwork goes, not necessarily the
Well,
tarot
what you're
end of it.
looking at, the way I made all of or most of the images, certainly for the major arcana, was to use incense smoke that was appropriate to that particular card, and then light that up, charge it up, and just dive into the smoke and shoot until I felt like I had it. Or
So
yeah,
lighting it with different colors, lighting,
no,
lighting.
actually, that was what wound up. I really haven't changed any of the colors. It was all
Oh,
pretty
really?
much gray smoke, except certain cards came out with tints that I wound up
Wow,
keeping. And
wow.
they really are specific people, but they're abstract enough that, like, whatever emotional content you bring to the cards, you can see so many layers and so many different images in that, and it's
Yeah,
kind of cool.
kind of cool. It's beyond cool. This is so freaking connected and energetic. It's amazing. I'm so excited to like learn what this is
So,
all about.
have you ever charged up a deck before? Have you ever had your own deck?
I have not. I have had some decks of cards, but not really knowing even that I was supposed to charge them or anything like that until
Okay, can
you,
I give
you,
you a
you
little run through with your new
please,
deck and
absolutely.
get you off on the right foot?
Please do.
You
Hang on
know,
hang on before you do that. We got some interactivity, so I want to leverage that. I've been doing my angel tarots for years, and they were given to me. Do you believe that they should be given to you? So I think what we're doing now is almost going to answer that question. So, and let's hear what you got.
well, first of all, let me answer that. I
Yeah.
think however they find their way to you is awesome. And if you connect with them, then that's what was supposed to happen. If
Mhm.
you are repulsed by them or don't feel any connection to them, then they could just go by the wayside.
And how much does that make sense? Janice says those are beautiful.
Um, all right, so there are as many ways to clean and bless your cards as there are tarot readers, but I'll just give you my method that I've gotten to over many years, and you can start there and evolve it over your
Wonderful.
own
Thank
space.
you.
Okay, so the most important thing for any cards is to flush out whatever energy's there. Although I'm the person that put the energy on there before, right? No one else has touched those since I have, so you
Mhm.
might want to keep that around for a while. But after that sort of dissipates for a little while, you want to take those cards and fill it up with your energy signature. So put
Right.
them in your right hand
Yep.
and imagine your juice flowing from your solar plexus into those cards, and just keep jacking them up and jacking them up and jacking them up. That way, every single card is now infused with your energy
Mm.
signature, and then therefore your connection to your higher self, which is who you're communicating with these anyway.
Amazing. I feel your. I feel like I want to leave your energy in these cards. I can feel
Uh,
it.
you might for a day or so, because it had really lovely intent for you, and
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
I mean,
You
look at
know
this.
those. I'm having a hard time manhandling these cards like I did my old deck. You
Why
know,
don't you? Could you have it nearby? Show everybody the deck that you showed us, the use
yeah.
that it has.
Here's my old deck that's like seen way better day. We'll put a different card
All
on the
ragged
bottom.
and
Yeah,
but
man.
there's got to be value in that too, right? No.
Well, there is, because I don't have to spend a second charging these up. I also, this is just my own personal preference. Other people have different opinions about this. I used to give my cards to other people to touch, and I don't do that anymore.
Mm.
I have a deck that I share with people and show stuff
Right.
to, but if I'm actually doing a reading, I
Not a
don't
deck that
do
you
that
read with.
anymore.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
reach across, I get them really charged up and pure, and I reach across, grab the energy signature out of their aura and pull that energy in,
These are so
and then
amazing.
it's kind of pure, and it's not all wonky like it can be, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
just a
These are
rule of
amazing. I'm
thumb.
so excited. So Lorraine says I flush out after reading above the light of a white candle. So this is so nice to hear. So awesome.
Well, candles and sage and all that stuff certainly have their place, and do stuff, but nothing beats your own energy. You know, that's the piece of
I love
God
that
you
you I
have
love what you're saying.
that lives inside you. You know, and to use that part of the primal fire, there's nothing that can,
And
you know.
that is what resonates with me so deeply, Brian. I think that's what this whole thing is about. This energy exchange, this moment, is about. I mean, how pumped up do you and I get when we're talking about this stuff, and
Oh,
to
it's the love of my
intentionally,
life. Yeah.
right, to intentionally say, hey, at 8 o'clock we're going to do this now we've intentionally set something to look forward to. We're here in that moment that we looked forward to. We're creating it, and then we can look back on it and be like, "Oh, that was such a great moment." And we're creating, this is. I
And
just
there'll be
love it.
another moment.
I just love it. I freaking love it.
It's
It's
the infinite
amazing.
moment. There you
The
go.
infinite moment, totally. And oh, hold on, I was just. Oh, what did I do? So I also know that this is the 10th anniversary edition. You waited 10 years to get this level of printing, the gold foil and all of the stuff that you've done. So I'm going to put up your website. Hold on, I forgot to type that in beforehand. Hold on, I think I
You
have
know, you're
one here.
holding up the manual that goes to it, and
Right.
it's a mini version of a big tabletop version of that, but that was 10 times more difficult to do than the actual deck.
Right.
You know, it's like you're finished with the deck, and all of a sudden you realize, wow. And especially with this one, because it wasn't just the tarot associations, it was the Ifa associations, the geomantic things, the
Mhm,
runes. It had all these other systems that were connected to it as well, which needed
mhm,
explanation as well.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah, sigils. There's
mhm,
planetary squares on there.
mhm.
It's just so many little,
Oh,
you
this,
know.
I can imagine this as a nice coffee table book too. So this is available as a coffee table book also on your website?
Not yet. I believe
Okay.
that's going to be my next Indiegogo endeavor.
Okay. Okay, cool. I think I had uh hope I have. Oh, yep, I do. Excellent. Hold on. I'm gonna set it to share. I'm just gonna go off topic for a moment because this uh this is something that you did 10 years ago. You created this original deck and you started your photography journey, or I don't know if you started there. You didn't start there, but you started kind of this particular style, right?
Right,
Um,
exactly.
and 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 for 10 years you've been developing that style, and the graphic that is in the background right here behind us is some of the newer artwork that you've been doing, which to
The
me
light painting,
is
yeah.
like, I mean, that's even more connected right to source. And I
I
just want to
finally
share that.
found my medium.
Yeah, no,
I've been looking my whole life, all these decades, and I found stuff I really loved.
it's so evident, and I wish you so, I not only, it's like I'm wishing you success, but it's like I don't even, I know that you already you have that success already. Like this is, it is the success. You know what I mean? It
That's
is,
true.
it is the success itself. So whatever comes from that is just a bonus, right?
You know what's really happy for an artist? I think a lot of artists, I know I do. I have always kind of hoped to create something in my life that would last longer than me.
And here it is. This is like
And
your legacy right here,
the
Bryan. And
the
so
deck will
beautiful.
really, my angels. These started on the souls. The both the decks you have right now, both of those started separate winter solstices, but started on the winter solstice, and this whole series of angels that I've been
Yeah,
shooting since this last one have been some of
you were
my
saying.
best stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying that. So I want to show these, but I would also want to keep the interactivity. Thank you so much, people, for being out there in this moment with us. Lorraine is asking, do you read past 6 months for people?
I'll read for 6 years if somebody's really interested in that. But the
Hmm.
thing I wind up using I do an elemental reading that's 4 columns, one element for each one of them,
Hmm.
and it gives me this like kind of flow, like the fires, like what's the energy surrounding it, the
Hmm.
water, what emotions are being thought about it or talked about it, and then the air, and it's like what plans, what's being said, what's going on factually about it, and if all of those are left unchanged, then the earth column is the likely manifestation of that. So it's kind of like, energy is always in flux. It's always changing,
Hmm.
and and there are so many factors that change things for the different that you can read trends,
Hmm.
but and those are easier to pick up for long range goals, but
Hmm.
using it as an astral forecast, like if you have a bad reading that morning, and you see a couple of cards here or there, that you could change the energy about that, and like all of a sudden that's going to affect the final outcome of it. So you can either like skate on that or attenuate that significantly. And if
Hmm.
it's really good, then you just keep pumping juice into that flow and it manifests in a really beautiful way.
Hmm.
So that's really how I come to use it more
Beautiful,
frequently. Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful. So, like I was showing some of this artwork. So this is for people who haven't seen Brian's work before, and he was explaining the incense photos and how those were done. But this is kind of an extension of that, an evolution of that, right? This is something called light
Well,
painting.
this is really different in that I'm shooting using a fiber optics brush. That's happening in the middle of the air, in a dark space.
Hmm.
And I think that, so in essence, you're drawing with light and drawing with energy,
Right.
and that's been the whole focus of my life for so long. So it's like the artwork has finally found the expression for.
Janet says that is beautiful.
Thank
Heath-
you.
Heather says, "Yeah, manifest positivity." Beautifully said. Thank you, Heather, for joining us in the moment. I really appreciate you being here, and Janet as well.
Hi,
Uh,
Heather.
and Lorraine makes total sense. Again, loving all of the people here in the moment with us. So let me just go through a couple of different pieces here
Yeah,
because
it's really great
they're
to
just so
interact. I,
beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very happy with this one.
So I mean, come on, it's so freaking amazing. The color combination and the energy that you could feel just from looking at this thing. Let me see. Can I zoom in on it? Oh yeah, I can. Good. Look at that.
Yeah, I'd love to
Uh,
blow that thing up like 6 feet
Oh,
tall.
dude, we got to talk because you should be selling huge prints of these. I think wellness centers and spiritual centers would love these things. I mean, there's so much in them. There's so many images and so many messages and energies that just come
I
right
wish
across.
I I I I feel like I've sort of matured as an artist, and I'm an
Oh,
absolute kindergarten kid when it comes to marketing my stuff. I suck
well,
at it
well, you
so
and I,
bad.
you and I are gonna deepen our connection a little bit. We'll help each other because
That'd be
you'll teach
great.
you'll teach me
I
about the NFTs, and I'll
I
help you
need
get stuff
That'd be
together.
great. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I need the
yeah.
help bad for sure.
These are beautiful. Steve Sage says absolutely beautiful. Randy Frieder, who is here watching us in the moment, is a photographer friend of mine, so he understands completely the
Hi,
technique, and
Randy.
and he loves
Thanks.
the images. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So nice to be able to actually have people who haven't seen these see them. That's great too. Look at this one. Wow. I mean the colors here in the wings, like it looks like feathers. It's just so
Well,
perfect
check
and
out the
so
dragons. Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at
yeah.
it's like a dragon up in the
Yeah.
corners.
Yeah. These
That's a
images are just
selfie. That's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the fiber optics brush dragged over my
Oh,
face.
wow. I'm looking to see where your form is, where your face is, but I
You
can't make
can't.
it out.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I can't wait to start playing around with some of those, but I don't have any of those fiber optic brushes. If you have one nearby and you want to hold it up and show our audience
Yeah,
that one, we saw that one already. This one also, again, what's so amazing of these is like the figures, the angelic figures that, I mean, you don't even have to have an imagination, you know what I mean, to see the figures that are coming out of these things. Heather
that's
says,
taken a long time to get to, and
yeah, no, and
I
God,
do this mirror thing that I really like developed through the tarot scenario, and that's
right,
carried over into my light painting. And now that I can actually draw with the smoke was very abstract, and I had little control over making exact figures. But like the feathers on there and the little guy in there, I actually like
phenomenal.
took the brush here. This is
Yeah.
this is what I use.
Hold on, let's bring you up close
It's a black.
for that.
It's a. Let's see. Where am I going? Here we go. It's a black fiber optics brush with a flashlight on the end, and you can
Right.
spread it out,
Oh, I gotta
pull
get
it
one of
in
those. Look at that
close.
thing.
Then you can just draw with it in the air.
Right. You
It's
know what?
it's
Do that across the screen, just like shake it across the screen. Yeah,
there.
that's just
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. And oh,
So that's
Angela,
how I do
hello.
the wings. Here you go
Yeah,
up,
it's
you
it's
go down,
beautiful.
craze out, and then and then you do the. Here you go.
That's beautiful. So my
Yeah,
buddy Steve is a filmmaker, and he says we should shoot a segment. And you know what? I would love to
I
create a
would love
piece of
to too.
content with you, documenting what you're doing, dude.
That would be great.
You're in Florida, right?
I am.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll figure that out. But for sure, that's something I think that we should do. So I think I have one or two more that I just pulled out that I would love to show. This one,
Oh, I love
I
that one.
love this one because I don't know what you did here.
That's
Post
without the mirror.
this is just all natural without post. This
That's
is
just yes,
wow. This
absolutely.
is beautiful, dude. This is like if you can't see the spirit animal here, you know what I mean? Then you might have problem with spirituality.
Yeah,
But this is just I mean this one blew me away when I saw this. I mean I see the full bird here. I see the full this just man
they
again.
really. I'm so happy with how actual feather-like they look
Oh,
now. It's like
beyond,
ah,
really, really
that
beyond.
took a
I
long
don't,
time to
Janet. I
get
don't know
here.
which one you were saying is your favorite because I've been going through them. Angela is asking what part of Florida. Angela is, I think, in Florida.
Yeah, I live in Miami.
Miami, Florida. Oh, sounds beautiful, man.
Coconut Grove.
So freaking cold up here right now in New York.
Well, we're having the days right now that are like the perfect Florida days,
Oh yeah.
which make you remember why you live here in the summer.
I got one more,
Oh, there
and
we
look at
go.
this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Love that one.
yeah. Oh, dude, man, it's like, and looking at these images and being your friend, I could. It's like a hug, dude. It's like I feel like hugging you and just being like, this is beautiful. This fills me up with that light that we all need to freaking feel once in a while.
That's a good thing. That's the best you can hope for.
That's a
I
great
love
thing.
when people connect. It makes me just so happy inside. It's like,
Yeah,
wow, somebody got some joy out of looking at something I
totally,
made. That's awesome.
totally. Angela says she spent most of her life in Hollywood. So is that Hollywood, Florida? I'm imagining.
Hollywood, Florida. I know it well.
Uh, so
Yeah, the
um,
beach down there is crazy.
so something that's interesting, and not that you discouraged me, but I was kind of thinking, some of my artwork, I have this human dollar artwork that I do, that is similar technique. I shoot my models with projectors on them, and then I in Photoshop I use a mirror effect, and I do these things that create these mandalas, and I call them human dollars. And I was like,
Kind of
oh, these would,
kaleidoscopic in a
yeah,
way.
very kaleidoscopic. And I was like, oh, these would make great tarot cards, and I was really excited because I'm a graphic designer, and I've designed trading cards for bands and really cool creative uses for trading cards and things. And then I became friends with you, and I was like, oh, you have tarot cards. And I was like, oh, and then I saw the manual, and I went through it, and what goes into really defining every aspect of the image and what it means and all of that. And I mean, I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do this because I just don't
Well,
have the experience. And I'm not
there's
saying
a lot of decks out there that really the tarot part of it is sort of
right,
secondary to what the artwork is.
right. Well,
So
so
there's always that option too. It's not
right,
like
and I
you have to
also
reinvent it. I was just
right.
sort of obsessive about that.
But I think that's what makes it so powerful. I think that's what gives it the energy, is the actual uh the study into the wisdom of what it is, you know what I mean, and really understanding it. And like you said, there are other decks, and there's also other types of decks. I didn't even get to this companion deck. And this is an angel deck, you call this, or an oracle deck?
That's correct. It's an angel oracle,
An
actually.
angel slash oracle deck. Good. You know
Yeah.
what? I was right. That's actually how I tagged it on the show. And
Deus Angelus, God's angels.
this is a Tell us what that means exactly. That this is a companion deck to
Well, they
Wyzard of
wind
Odd. I'm
up
going to open that one up too.
yeah, the system of the angel deck was built on an ancient Hebrew system called the Shem HaMephorash, and it's where you take verses out of the Torah, use letters out of those, and construct 72 angels or names of God and the angels associated to them,
So
and
so
that's
the
what
the
these are.
tarot is it Hebrew based? Is that what I'm getting?
The tarot is not Hebrew based.
No.
This particular angel system was.
Oh, this
It's not
particular.
connected to the tarot system. It just has the tarot association. Like each of the angel cards has a corresponding tarot card and vice versa that relate to those. It was not intended originally to be the companion deck, but it just worked out that way. The angel or the tarot deck gives me so many facts and specific information and definition of energy flows. The angel deck is like an angel talking to you, like right then,
Mhm.
and
A
kind of
very like a specific
defining.
message.
And that
What?
and that really comes because of how those readings were created. I did automatic writing and really kind of connected to those energies and let them sort of write it. Whereas the tarot deck were all my associations and came from my intellect, and
Gotcha.
these really didn't. And they give it they'll define the situation and then give you a here's what you need to do to either keep it going good or here's how you get out of this sticky situation. And every single time it just kind of blows me away. Yeah, there's a manual for that. What a lot of work that was. The
Yeah.
tabletop version of that is 365 pages, man. And I
Wow.
was like, what
So we
did I
have
do?
I have Lorraine asking where can we buy these cards. They can get them on the site below, right? The Wizard of
They
Odd.
can, exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Lorraine, for asking that, because that's why I brought Bryan here to help.
And Lorraine, if you wanna buy a deck, I there's a code. There's like the word friends, and you get 40 cents, 40% off.
40% off. That's awesome. So let me open these up here. I'm sliding the thing off. Also, these
Those are
are,
silver now, so
yeah,
you've
these are
got
silver.
your gold and silver mix. Yeah.
Oh my god, and look at that. Look at the backs of these.
That experience of doing the readings, doing the automatic writing and the reading, I did like 72 days in a row. I shot the images and then I did the automatic writing. And most profound experience of my life. 10 years, not quite 10 years with the angel deck, but with the tarot deck and that, redoing those files to get them printed this time around kind of took me through that whole journey again. There you go.
I want to
Last
show some of the manual as well, because it's just so, again, it's so freaking amazing, and it makes me so appreciative of how complex yet simple these systems are. Um, it's really amazing.
I have
You
a
know what?
bunch
I'm
of
gonna hold on one second. I'm just gonna make myself bigger so that I could show the cards and you can talk about them.
I
Hold
have a
on.
bunch of multi-card readings designed for the angel deck, but I found over the years of using them, I pull one card, and it's like the perfect complement to whatever my tarot reading was at the time. As a matter of fact, the readings I do for other people, I use both decks every time.
So
There's a
beautiful,
there's a
so
third deck
beautiful.
waiting in the wings
Lorraine
to
is
be.
she's gonna get them and send them to her niece. So thank you,
Thank you,
Lorraine.
Lorraine. I
Oh,
hope
look
she
at that!
enjoys them very much.
Look at that! These are phenomenal. Let me see let me pull out the manual here for a
They have
second.
such a nice feel. The little satin finish on them is really, really
So
nice,
beautiful,
right?
Bryan. Congratulations,
Thanks.
and thank you for sending me an
And
extra set.
thanks to the universe for taking such good care
Yes,
of them and making sure they came out
for
nice.
bringing all of this to this moment. Your work, my work, both of our energy is all right here in this moment. It's so
Wow. And
great.
the cool people we connected with tonight. I mean,
Already, right?
awesome. Yeah.
Already. So if you don't know much about tarot cards and you want to learn, Bryan also teaches some classes, but these decks have these manuals that are so uh I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, easy to use and see all of the different meanings. And as Jesse was pointing out last night, there's also there's like different symbols on the cards that will assist in the readings and help you kind of decipher what that card might mean at that point in the reading. It's just I'm excited. I never did any readings myself. I had some friends who did readings, and I've always, I resonate with energy. So, it's always been something I understood, but I never did it myself. And you've given me a reason now to like dive into something new. So
It's a really
I'm
great,
super excited.
it's a really great journey. Don't even think about like doing readings for anybody else. Just the journey of self-discovery that you go on through that process is so invaluable. I couldn't imagine having skipped that. It was
Mhm,
so
mhm, mhm.
fruitful for me and
Ooh,
continues to be. It never diminishes either. It's like the more you learn, the more you realize you can learn, and
it's amazing.
it is a
It's
beautiful
amazing.
thing. It really
Yeah.
is.
So Lorraine says, "Thank you for all of this information, Lorraine. That's why I made this moment. That's why you're here in this moment. That's why you came to this moment. You needed that information, and now you've got it. And I hope that it does well for you."
Me
Randy
too.
says, very interesting and enjoyable conversation. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate
Thanks,
that
Randy.
encouragement. Angela is now stalking you both. I think, I don't know if that means you and I. Uh, but and Randy says both men are very talented. Thank you, Randy. Very much appreciated
Absolutely.
in this moment. That's what I created this moment for, to gather that energy. You know what I mean? Uh, it's funny because I was talking about what this show, or I don't even call it a show because it's not really a show. It's just
It's
a
a
moment.
moment.
It's a moment. And I was just talking about it, and I actually invited people. I said, listen, and I'm inviting you now, people who are out there watching us, people who are in this moment, get in touch with me if you want to be a part of the moment and have a moment with me live, and have other people interact, because you are welcome anytime. And I even entice people. I said, even if you want to fight, come with me. Come talk to me. We'll fight,
Well,
and
yeah, exactly.
I'll figure out, what exactly you need, and hopefully I'll give you what you need, and you'll leave feeling better. And I said, but if you're coming with a fight, expect me to have boundaries, and if you push me too hard, I might just click the button and boot you. So
That's the end of the moment.
there's the end of the moment, and that's if that's what you brought to the moment, that's what you brought to the moment. You know what I mean?
And there's always another moment right
There's
after
always another moment. No fighting. You know what? I wish
that.
there was no fighting, but without no fighting, there would be no fighting.
That
Right?
could be all right for a while.
Yeah, it's true. It's really hard for people to understand when you accept duality, and you're like, listen, man, I don't. I don't hate the dark. You know what I mean? The dark is part of the light. The dark is like when you go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then you wake up and you live your life in the light. And anyway. uh Lorraine says, this is seriously a great place. I hope you mean this moment is great, because I created this moment specifically for that reason. And yeah, it is a great place. When I was doing the live stream with Jesse, I noticed every week on Thursday I would come to the live stream, and I would look at the screen, and I would see this guy who was so happy to be there, and that was me. So I realized my power, and created this moment. So um, I've got a lot of work to do to read these manuals and go through these cards. I'm really glad that again, live, Lorraine was here, and she was interested, but this moment is archived, and so if you're watching this moment and it's not live, I hope you're inspired by it still. I'm going to show one or two more of these cards just because they're so beautiful. I'm
Hey,
going to.
when you get ready to do a reading, let me give you a shuffle technique and
Okay, great,
be
great.
part of you pulling your first card.
Great. And for those who again who don't really have any experience, the manuals show all different sorts of layouts. When you pull the cards and you lay them on the table, there are different configurations and
Well,
different
just start
reasons.
with one. Do
Right,
one a
right,
day.
right. I'm just saying that you explain what the configurations mean, why you might use a specific configuration over another one for a specific purpose. You know what I mean? There's a lot to it. Uh, so hold on, let me go bigger again. Uh, Janice is saying yes. I'm not sure what she meant. Uh, Lorraine is saying she loves this place. She had a crap night and found us guys. And you know
Woohoo!
what? That is even more validation for why we are creating this moment for you, Lorraine. Look at this card. This is also beautiful. Look at these cards. I love them. So
So
I'm having
happy
a
you
great
got
time.
them.
What's that?
I was just so happy you got them, man. It's like so
Uh,
cool to see
Me
them on
too.
your side of the screen now. Yahoo!
Totally, totally, totally. Oh, I see Sunshine is here. Sunshine was having a Zoom meeting in her goddess group. She's also discovered this platform as a great way to connect to people, and almost as a unintentional light worker, because some of us light workers are unintentional. We
Sunshine,
kind of
what up?
we need to find our way and do the things. I love these very subtle ones. These really are
Me
some of my
too.
favorites.
Me too.
Yeah. um and some of the like I said, I feel like you were saying this on the live stream, that this deck and the manual that comes with it makes it really easy to kind of do a reading right out of the box.
Well,
And
there are keywords on the right-hand side of the cards, all the cards.
the
So
angel
if you
cards
have
as well. Yeah, yeah.
not there aren't keywords on the angel cards,
Oh,
but
okay.
there
Hold on.
are
Let me
on
pull
the
them.
tarot deck. Yeah.
Let me pull those out.
And if you've never read ever, know nothing about it, you could pull them out of there, and by using the keywords, like 3 or 4 words that's what the card generally means, you can start to get a grasp on it, and it's kind of a
Right.
good way to grow. And then there's enough there that if you've read for a long time, you could dig in there and never find the end.
Oh, I think I pulled the devil card.
That's all right. The devil's not always bad.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
And
Hold
the
on. Let me
devil
pull it.
represents your choice to remain chained to whatever holds you prisoner to your progress. And you can always choose to let go.
Right. Right. Uh, Randy says, I see evil and positive energy images. Does that mean something?
There is always a duality to every single thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Sunshine says, absolutely gorgeous, Brian. Yeah, I love
Thanks.
this. This is one of my favorite cards. It doesn't scare me. There is such a beauty to it. And it's like, again, as I was saying, duality, I think a lot of people, it scares a lot of people to be like, a lot of spiritual people are like, oh no, just, you got to hold positivity, you got to generate positivity. And certainly that's a great intention to
Well,
want
it's a
to do
huge
that.
mistake, choosing to be positive and choosing to emanate and project that energy is a choice and a good one. But to
Absolutely.
deny that you have a shadow is foolish, you know,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
coming to terms with that, making peace with that, blessing that, and absorbing that into the whole makes a lot less chaos happen in
Right.
your life.
Randy says, makes sense, Brian, about the evil and positive images. Awesome. Angela Mitchum, she says, I used to read a lot. I have had so much tragic happening in my life, but it can't take me over. I'm not sure what that means, Angela, but we are out here and we have so much love for you. Angela is a regular viewer slash listener of the live stream of consciousness, and she is also a witch and a psychic and just an amazing, amazing soul. And like we were just saying, there is the light in the dark. I know that Angela can appreciate uh, the positive love and what love is, but also, she may be struggling through some darkness at the moment or
Well,
whatever.
when you're on the path, Angela, you're always getting tested.
Hmm.
And even though it might seem at the time that you're being tested beyond your endurance, that you can find that extra bit of juice and blow yourself up and make it
Hmm.
through it. And the
Hmm.
most um, evolved people I know, all of them have suffered through really serious tragedies.
Hmm.
And those don't have to define you,
Hmm.
they can give you
Strength.
an opportunity to find your strength,
Hmm.
which is a great way to keep dealing with anything.
Right, right. So let me ask you a question, because I do want to continue the conversation for a little bit. I didn't. There's no set time for the moment. The moment is as long as it is. Uh, but I'm wondering if you are open to the idea of having folks come in actually live and ask you questions. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. So if anybody, I'm going to just put this into the chat here. If anybody is interested in coming on here live and exchanging energy on a little bit of a closer level, because
Grab some
we're
coffee. I'll be right back.
that's fine. You're exchanging energy with us just by being here in this moment on the other end of the screen. But if you want to come on and say hi to Brian and ask him a question, I thought that might be an interesting opportunity using StreamYard, the platform that I use here to go live. It's as simple as clicking that link in the chat. Just make sure if you do that, that you turn the volume down on this broadcast, because it's like watching the radio and you'll be echoing, and I'm going to have to mute you until you figure out how to work it. But so basically, click on that link in a different browser window or on your phone or something, and turn the volume down if you are watching this right here. And so, we'll just keep that option out there for the next couple of minutes while we finish up our conversation. I haven't had a lot of people respond to that, but some people do. I did. I'm watching a friend of mine do his show, and he actually inspired me to have a phone number to call in, because some people might be less intimidated, to call in and just have their voice, and it is a little bit better than the chat, because there's a little bit of a delay when people are in the chat. So a voice is a more real time moment. So, but those are some things that are going to be added to the show to work on. And Janet says she would, but her internet service is not working tonight. Well, then how are you watching us, Janet? I think you're just a little bit afraid. That's okay though. You're here with us in the moment, and you know how much I appreciate
Exactly.
you.
Thank
Janet
you for
also,
participating.
yeah, Janet also comes from the live stream, so I really thank my live stream family for showing up tonight and supporting me. The live stream was certainly it is, and it still exists. It's a great place for me to, but it was a great place for me to jump off and be able to do this by myself, and bring on some amazing people. I'm so blessed to know people like Bryan, and you know what? And here's the cool thing about being blessed to know someone like Bryan. I know Bryan because I intentionally reached out to Bryan, because I felt, just by seeing his artwork, I felt I want to know this guy, and I reached out to him just because why not? And we hit it off, and now and Bo Bramwell. I mean, and again, an amazing. These artists are visionary, and when I say use the term visionary artists, I guess that's usually applied to people who do kind of like artwork that is channeled, and people like Alex Gray. I don't know if you're familiar with Alex Gray.
Amazing, amazing.
You you actually you
I
remind me
know
a lot of
Alex.
Alex Gray.
I
Yeah,
know
you remind me
Alex.
of him.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Alex Gray,
I
friendly with
do,
him.
yeah.
That's great.
I got to there's a metaphysical kind of gallery down here called Moksha, and Alex used to come down every year for Art Basel. And
Oh
one
wow.
year I had a couple of things in the show, and my stuff was right next to his. And dude,
Wow.
he's like the most amazing hero to me, man.
He's
His
an amazing
thing of
human being.
sacred mirrors. I mean, it was life changing for
I want
me.
to, you know what? And his Hall of Sacred Mirrors is in New York here. I want to actually make a trip to. It's upstate somewhere, and
You
it's
got to
not too
see it.
it's
It's
not too far away. I'm
crazy.
familiar. Yeah, I've seen it online. I haven't been there, but I want to go there. And he does like solstice. Every solstice, he'll have artists there. Like he does events on his
He
grounds
does.
and
He does.
invites people. And there, I mean, there must be an amazing energy there. I was talking yesterday, and I was talking earlier about energy, and again, my latest example where I try to explain to people energy exchange, and really how to understand it is the idea of going to a concert or a football game, and being in a crowd of people who are all there, all pumped up with energy, to for that very particular reason. It's a very focused energy, and I mean, you feel it when you're at a concert, when you're sitting there and you're waiting for the band to come on, and they're on and everybody is cheering. You're feeling that collective energy, like, without a doubt. I mean, if you don't feel
That's
that
really
energy,
true.
then you don't go to those things, right?
Right?
That's why we go to those things. So Sunshine, maybe you could do an interview with him too. Oh, Alex Gray. Oh, that would be amazing. Oh my God. Sunshine, I love you so much. You know what, that was one of the things, interestingly enough, that you're saying that. One of the things that I thought of a couple of years ago, I had come up with this concept of these kinds of shows. One of my friends, Christopher Allen, is a amazing psychic, and he also has this great way of communicating with people. So I was like, you should have your own show. I talked to him about getting a show together, and we finally did get a show together where he would do live broadcasts of group readings, and he's just amazing. And I came up with this concept of channel zen, which was basically like, well, if I had all of these shows, I need a distribution point, right? I need some place to put them out. So Channel Zen was going to be my channel, quote unquote, my TV channel, where I would have all of these shows. And I just, I've been kind of, I guess, this whole thing that we're sitting in here, this moment, I've been brewing this, for a while. And I'm really excited about what it's becoming. I have visions about what it is going to become, and it's pretty damn cool. I'm really excited. I don't know where I was going with that. I got off track, but that's what
You're
happened.
enjoying the moment. That's
That's what
where you went.
exactly. I'm enjoying the moment.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, all right. Well, I don't see anybody popping up. Boop, boop, boop. Sunshine, I put the link if you want to say hello. You're welcome to come on and say hello to talk to Bryan. I know you probably don't have any specific questions for him because you're I don't know. You're
Sunshine and
not
I
here in
are friends
town.
on Facebook
You guys
now.
are friends already, yeah. So you guys talk already, exactly. But Bryan, I got to tell you, thank you so much for being a part of my life and being in this moment with me. Um, I'm looking forward to more of these moments
Me
with you
too.
and with other people. Um, Lorraine says you did an amazing job. Sunshine says you're doing it. Angela says you should do it. Look at all this amazing encouragement happening. I love it. I love all of you guys in this moment with me. I guess we're gonna wrap it up because I want to look at these cards and play with them.
Enjoy.
And
I'm so excited for your journey, man. I
yeah,
really just, yeah, happy, 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 joy, joy.
yeah. Hold on. Let me make myself bigger here and hold up both of these decks together so you can see the gold and silverish
Love them and they will love you.
treasures that I have in my hands here. Super super excited. Randy says pleasant evening. Thank you. Channel Zen sounds awesome. It's Channel Zen, but channel it come.
It
Somebody
should be
once
channels in, actually.
somebody once said to me. It was Anna Miranda, who is also she reads Akashic records. She's an astrologer, and she said you were born into your namesake. You are Zen, and I really appreciate the people that see that and reflect that in me when I interact with them. Thank you all for being there for me. I'm gonna wrap this up with you, Bryan. Again, I love you so much. Thank you for being on this
Always
moment
a
or
joy.
in this moment. Hang around and we'll talk after
All
I
right.
run the outro here. Again, thank you, folks. I love you
Thanks.
all,
Yeah, really.
and
Thank
yeah,
you.
thanks for, if you could just like the Facebook page, you'll get notified when I decide to have another moment. And the YouTube page also will be live, another place for you to see this and be a part of this. And if you want to have a conversation with me, reach out. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Angela, love you all. I made the conscious change. Sunshine with the hearts, the purple hearts. Awesome. I love you guys. See you soon.